The studio lights of the American Pulse blazed with an almost blinding intensity, casting stark shadows across a sea of eager faces in the packed audience. The air crackled with anticipation, every seat occupied, every gaze fixed on the stage where a political firestorm was about to erupt. At the center stood Jack Harper, the charismatic host, his grin wide and knowing, fully aware he was about to unleash a spectacle. On one side sat Karine Leavitt, President Donald Trump's young and razor-sharp White House press secretary, her navy suit impeccable, her eyes gleaming like polished steel. Opposite her was Karine Jean-Pierre, Joe Biden's former spokesperson, dressed in a pale gray outfit, her posture betraying a hint of unease. This wasn't merely a debate. It was a clash of two Americas, a battle of unrelenting strength against faltering fragility, of cold facts against crumbling excuses. What unfolded would burn itself into the nation's consciousness, a masterclass in dominance and defeat. Jack Harper stepped forward, his voice booming through the studio. Welcome to the American Pulse, where the heart of America beats loud and proud. Tonight, we have a showdown for the history books. Karine Leavitt, representing President Trump's bold new era, versus Karine Jean-Pierre, the voice of Biden's fading administration. Let's dive in. The audience roared, a mix of cheers and murmurs, sensing the storm brewing. Harper turned to Leavitt first, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Miss Leavitt, President Trump's promised a golden era for America. What's he doing to deliver? Leavitt leaned forward, her gaze sweeping the crowd before locking onto Harper. Thank you, Jack. President Trump doesn't just promise, he delivers. He's deported over 1,000 illegal criminals in a single day, shielding communities from chaos. He's brought in nearly $1 trillion in investments, domestic and foreign, creating jobs for hard-working families. He's negotiated with Panama to waive canal fees for our Navy ships, strengthening our global power. That's leadership, putting Americans first, not dodging questions with, I don't have anything, like some are used to. Her voice was steady, sharp, each word a deliberate strike. The audience erupted in applause, a wave of approval crashing through the studio. Jean-Pierre shifted uncomfortably, her lips tightening. Before Harper could prompt her, she raised a hand, her voice unsteady but defiant. Are you referring to me? I don't dodge. The Biden administration worked tirelessly to address the border, to protect immigrants, to uphold progressive values, diversity, fairness, inclusion. Her words wavered, as if she felt the ground slipping beneath her. The audience murmured, some nodding, others skeptical. Leavitt's lips curved into a faint, confident smile, her eyes never leaving Jean-Pierre. Progressive values. You call 10,000 border crossings a day a success? Or standing at a podium, stammering, I don't have anything, when Americans demand answers? The people don't need empty slogans. They need safety, jobs, a government that doesn't let criminals flood in. Trump delivers that. What do you have besides chaos? The crowd roared again, louder now, feeding off Leavitt's intensity. Jean-Pierre's cheeks flushed, her hands clasping tightly in her lap. Trying to regain her footing, Jean-Pierre leaned forward. That's not fair. We had plans for the border. I don't dodge. I just don't always have the data right away. What about Trump? He divides, calls other countries holes. That's not leadership. Her voice trembled, betraying her struggle to match Leavitt's force. The audience sensed weakness, their murmurs sharpening. Leavitt tilted her head, her tone icy. No data? You're a press secretary who knows nothing about the border, the biggest issue facing America. Trump doesn't divide. He unites by putting Americans first. He negotiated with Panama, freed 6 hostages from Venezuela, while your administration left them to rot. You call that leadership? Or just dodging by blaming others? The crowd's cheers swelled, a tidal wave of support for Leavitt's relentless assault. Jean-Pierre's eyes darted to Harper, seeking rescue, but none came. Harper jumped in, laughing heartily. "It's getting hot in here! Miss Jean-Pierre, Leavitt's scoring points on hostages, the economy. How do you respond?" His tone was playful, but his eyes gleamed with the thrill of the fight. Jean-Pierre faltered, her hands trembling slightly. We cared about hostages, but that wasn't our focus at the time. As for the economy, we created millions of jobs. I don't have all the info right now, but we tried." Her voice cracked, the words sounding hollow against the studio's charged atmosphere. Leavitt pounced, her voice cutting like a blade. "Tried? The people don't need trying. They need results. Trump brought in nearly $1 trillion in investments. Do you have any data to prove your administration did better? Or is it, 'I don't have anything' again?" When you know nothing about hostages or the border, don't be surprised when Americans choose Trump over the chaos you left behind. The audience exploded, clapping wildly, some standing in fervor. Jean-Pierre shrank back, her composure fraying. "You're personally attacking me," Jean-Pierre said, her voice rising. "I worked hard. I represent people without a voice. Trump only cares about the rich. We fought for fairness." Her words carried a spark of defiance, but it flickered against Leavitt's unyielding gaze. Leavitt sat up straighter, her eyes locked on Jean-Pierre. "I'm not attacking you personally. I'm attacking your failure. People without a voice need safety, not empty promises. Trump deports criminals to protect the poor, not the rich, while you let the border collapse and call that fairness. I'm here to tell the truth, not make you happy. And the truth is, your administration failed while Trump is winning." The crowd's roar shook the studio, a testament to Leavitt's command of the stage. Harper raised his hands, grinning. "Okay, let's pause. The audience is going wild. Miss Leavitt, that was brutal. Miss Jean-Pierre, you okay?" Jean-Pierre looked down, her voice faint. "I'm fine, but she's not fair. I'll respond, it's just not the right time." The audience murmured, sensing her retreat. Leavitt smiled, glancing at the crowd. "Not the right time? The people can't wait. They need answers now, and I've got them." The applause surged again, a clear verdict on the opening round. Jean-Pierre took a deep breath, adjusting her mic, her eyes scanning the audience for support. She stood, pointing at Leavitt, her voice trembling but resolute. "I'm not letting her distort the truth. You talk about deportations, investments, but Trump only cares about the rich. Our administration fought for fairness, for immigrants, for people without a voice. I represent progressive values, and you can't deny we tried to make America better." Her words carried a flicker of conviction, but the audience's reaction was mixed, some clapping politely, others whispering. Leavitt chuckled softly, her gaze unyielding. "Tried? You call 10,000 border crossings a day trying, or letting criminals flood in? Trump deported over 1,000 in a single day to protect the working poor, not the rich, from your open border. Do you have any data to prove your administration did better? Or is it, 'I don't have anything,' as usual?" The crowd's cheers drowned out Jean-Pierre's attempt to respond, their energy feeding Leavitt's momentum. Jean-Pierre flushed, her voice shaking. "You're twisting the truth. We had plans for the border, and I don't dodge. We created millions of jobs. I don't have the data right now, but we worked hard to protect immigrants. People like me, a black, gay, immigrant woman." Her appeal to identity drew a few sympathetic nods, but the room's focus remained on Leavitt. Leavitt's voice sharpened, slicing through the air. "Protect immigrants! You protected gang criminals among them, too. I don't care who you are. The people don't need titles, they need safety. You say you created millions of jobs? Trump brought in nearly $1 trillion in investments, creating real jobs, not empty promises. No data? Then don't expect anyone to believe you. I've got the truth right here." The audience roared, their applause a thunderclap of approval. Harper laughed, stoking the fire. "Whoa, Jean-Pierre, you need a stronger comeback. Leavitt's in the lead. Got anything on the economy?" Jean-Pierre steadied herself, her voice strained. "We worked to reduce inflation. Biden signed major infrastructure laws. Trump didn't do anything but brag. He divides, calls other countries holes, while we rebuilt America." Her words sounded rehearsed, lacking the punch to shift the tide. Leavitt's response was immediate, her tone firm. "Rebuilt. Inflation skyrocketed under Biden. The people paid the price, not you. Trump negotiated with Panama to waive canal fees, cut their ties with China. That's building American strength, not dividing. You say he brags? I've got data, $1 trillion in investments, millions of jobs. Your infrastructure law didn't free hostages in Venezuela, didn't stop the border crisis. Do you know anything about that?" The crowd's cheers grew deafening, their faith in Leavitt unshakable. Jean-Pierre's hands trembled, her voice faltering. We cared about hostages, but that wasn't our focus at the time. I don't have info on that right now, but we worked to make America fairer." Her words landed weakly, the audience's murmurs turning critical. Leavitt smirked, her eyes glinting. "Not your focus? Trump freed 6 hostages from Venezuela, while you let them rot and did nothing. Fairer? You let the border collapse, the economy tank. What kind of fairness is that? I'm here with facts. You've got excuses. What does the audience want? Results or apologies?" The crowd erupted, their applause a tidal wave, wholly for Leavitt. Jean-Pierre sat, her face flushed, struggling to hold herself together. Harper laughed and cut in. "Jean-Pierre, what do you say about Hunter Biden?" Jean-Pierre hesitated. "That's a family matter. I won't talk about it." The audience murmured in disapproval. Leavitt, calmly, "The people want answers." Hunter admitted guilt. At the White House, Trump deports criminals while you call it a family matter. The crowd erupted in applause. Jean-Pierre shouted, "You're not being fair. I fight for justice." But the support was weak. Leavitt replied, "Justice? Inflation, border chaos, is that justice? Trump protects the people, while you say, I don't have the info." The crowd cheered again. Harper turned to Leavitt. "So, what has Trump done better?" Leavitt answered confidently, "Over 1,000 criminals deported in one day. $1 trillion in investments. A deal with Panama. 6 hostages freed from Venezuela. And Jean-Pierre, what do you have?" The crowd gave a standing ovation. Jean-Pierre, her voice weak, "Infrastructure bills, job programs. I don't have all the data, but we tried." The crowd remained unconvinced. Leavitt struck hard. "No data, just excuses. Trump delivers results. You deliver tears. The crowd's applause shook the studio. Jean-Pierre crying, "You're not fair. I have nothing more to say." She broke down. Leavitt sealing her victory. "Trump wins. You say, I don't know. The people have already chosen." The audience went wild. Harper shouted, "Leavitt just crushed it." Leavitt destroys exploded on social media. Clips went viral, watched by millions. Fox News praised Leavitt. CNN tried to defend Jean-Pierre, but failed to persuade. Leavitt's numbers, 1,000 deportations, $1 trillion in investments, resonated. Jean-Pierre's "I don't have anything" became a national meme. Leavitt stepped off the stage, the embodiment of truth and results. Jean-Pierre's tears became a symbol of being unprepared. America saw it clearly. Competence and facts won the night.